I have to ask you guys because I truly don't understand this. And I thought that I knew the rules of football.
Okay.
But my kids asked me after the second false start that was called on my favorite player on the team who just made a very small mistake. Even so, I went back and rewound it to watch it, to explain it to them. And I can't understand what a false start is because it feels like you didn't move at all. Mm-hmm. Yet I see centers all over the league moving the ball constantly, looking around, setting. So I looked at both of those plays through the lens, not of a Birds fan, but of just someone trying to understand the rules. What is a false start?
What happened?
Yeah, so it was definitely a false start. It was for sure a false start. I thought that.
Okay, cool. Bye-bye.
It's a good lad right there.
Yeah, if you are set and you flinch at all in a unnatural way. So there's movements that are allowed. And there's actually one called in the previous game against Creed Humphrey that I kind of thought was a bogus call. It was a very natural movement for a center to make. But if you flinch and move in a way that isn't natural, especially if you're trying to draw the defensive players off sides, but if you like false start, literally like go to move and it's not the right time to do that before the ball moves, it's going to be 5 yards. And it was very small. In my head, I'm like, oh, they might not have seen it because sometimes they do miss it. But
you just got to play it off better. You got to fucking point. You got to point when you do it.
I know. Oh, what's that over
there? I feel like they cut to you and you turned around and like you were busted.
I know. I should have acted, dude. And we do teach that. Like, they're like, no, if you move, you blame the other guy. Whether it's your fault or not, you're blaming the other guy.
Just scratch or something next time.
Yeah.
So it's a judgment call on the referee ultimately, right? Because I feel like I see centers moving the ball like up. Is it just once you're set and the ball is planted, then?
Yes. So if you do anything, so the key things are either an abrupt movement. So if it's like super quick,
jerky,
or if it's an unnatural movement. So if you go up to the ball every time and you're like moving it to adjust your hand, they're not going to call that. If you go up to the ball every time and do this with your hand, they're not going to call that. But if you do something either abrupt, quick, or that is unnatural to what you're doing the rest of the game, they're going to call you for a false start.
Wow. So it's just a judgment call. Yeah. Just a judgment call.
It is.
It's as confusing as pass interference. Defense,
yeah. Well, yeah.
I know what you're doing, Rob.
Especially if the defensive player comes off sides. Like, I do think if we wouldn't have drawn the defensive player off sides on the first one, there's a chance it doesn't get called because it wasn't that minor or that much movement. But because the defensive player adjusts, they have to call somebody. They're going to call the guy that moves first. So, yeah, thank you to Jake Elliott. Big time for, and it was weird. Like, you're good at kicking. It's rainy, terrible weather, 60 yards to tie the game. And in my head, like, Jake's got this. I'm not even worried about this.
He's so good.
That was like the worst conditions to ever hit a 60-yarder. Yeah.
He's that good. He's unbelievable.
He's incredible. And I've asked him about it too. And I can tell, I asked him, like, what does it feel like when he goes out there? How, like, is your stomach in knots? And the way he answered me was as if he didn't even know what I was talking about.
Yeah. You don't hit 60-yarders.
Why would I be nervous? I kick jitters all the time.
Yeah. Why would I be nervous?
Nervous about what?
He goes, I don't even like football that much.
God.
He wants to be a tennis player.
Dude, and he
that's funny.
So Nick did a whole bit about Tiger Woods, I guess, famously made like something like 300 plus consecutive 10-foot putts or something like that. Or maybe 5-foot putts. And he had Jake, you know how good Jake is at golf. He had him go up in the front of the room and he had Jake just start hitting these putts. And he's like, trying to prove a point, like, out of 10 putts, Jake's going to miss one. And it's going to be like, look at how great Tiger Woods was. Jake didn't miss a single one. Like, there's just something about him that he does not get razzled in front of the whole group.
That's amazing. I need
that's real
that.
nice to have in your closer,
cold.
Man.
But I asked him too about, and people find this fascinating. I know I found it fascinating. I asked him, were you just a soccer player, a football player, a soccer player? Were you always good at kicking things? And he goes, no, I wanted to be a tennis player. That's what I wanted to do. And one day I was just at gym class and we were just kicking balls and I just walked up and kicked a 45-yard field goal like that. And the coach was like, I'll give you a scholarship, come play on the high school, on the high school team. And he said, nah. And he waited until his junior or senior year before he started playing. Isn't that amazing?
How about that?
He's just naturally great at everything, I guess.
He is. Every
him,
single competition that we do in the offseason as a team, when we have like little, a chipping competition, ultimate frisbee, Jake Elliott is the first pick because he's going to be good at it. So he's a beast.
He's a beast.
I want that.
All right. Thanks, guys. Amazing.
That was a great no dumb question from the McElhenney family. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Can that go in no dumb questions? All right.
Oh,
great.
it's 100% going.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Nice work.
It's in.
It's going.